It amazes me that to convince black people that Donald Trump cares about them, he takes pictures with celebrities. It's amazing to me. If Donald Trump cared about black people, he wouldn't have denigrated the president with those claims of birtherism.
But part of that is starting off with Snoop Dogg and Nelly and Soulja Boy and others for their decisions to perform at events surrounding the inauguration.
Say, man, you playing to win tonight, man. You sharp as a mosquito. What's going down? That's that crypto, see? They let a real crip up in the crypto bar.
It started like most modern storms do, with a clip and a comment. D.L. Hughley, a veteran comedian known for never biting his tongue, dropped what seemed like a casual take during a radio interview. He spoke about how fame changes people, how artists who once spoke truth to power sometimes become the power they used to mock. He didn't mention any names, but his tone was sharp and the timing was uncanny. Within hours, fans pieced it together. He was talking about Snoop Dogg. Screenshots spread, blogs reposted, and Twitter turned it into a headline. DL calls out Snoop for selling out. That's when the calm before the storm broke, and a simple observation became an all-out digital brawl. Snoop Dogg had seen it all. The media, the hate, the headlines, but this one hit different. He wasn't just being criticized by some random troll. This was D.L. Hughley, a man from his own era, someone who knew the grind. That night, Snoop went live. No fancy setup, no PR filter, just Snoop, a blunt, and a quiet room. His voice was calm, but his eyes told another story. "Don't throw rocks at the throne," he said softly. "I earned mine." The internet exploded. Every blog from Hollywood Unlocked to The Shade Room clipped that line. TikTokers made remixes, and in a few hours the world was split. Team DL versus Team Snoop. What started as an opinion turned into a movement. DL supporters claimed he was the only one brave enough to call out what others wouldn't. Snoop's fans fought back, calling DL bitter and irrelevant. Hashtags like Naughty Respect Uncle Snoop and Alter DL Truth started trending simultaneously. People dug up old footage comparing Snoop's early gangster rap days to his new corporate image, while others praised his evolution. It wasn't just a feud, it became a generational debate. The old guard versus the modern mogul. Authenticity versus adaptation. And in between, two men watched their words turn into wildfire. Instead of backing down, DL did what he always does. He doubled down. On his radio show, he laughed it off but delivered his words with surgical precision. "If truth sounds like hate to you," he said, "maybe you've been lying to yourself." His audience cheered, the internet gasped, and bloggers typed faster than ever. That soundbite became gold. But behind the humor, there was tension. Industry insiders whispered that DL had struck a nerve, that he'd said out loud what many entertainers only said in private, and now he had the full attention of a legend who doesn't forget easily. It wasn't long before the conversation left the internet and hit the streets. Barbershops, podcasts, clubs, everyone was talking about it. Old heads nodded in agreement with DL, while younger fans dismissed him as out of touch. Rappers like Ice Cube and Too Short subtly sided with Snoop, reminding people how much he'd done for hip-hop culture. Meanwhile, comedians like Cedric and Earthquake hinted that DL was being too real for his own good. The culture was divided. Everyone had an opinion, but no one had peace. Behind the scenes, executives were watching. PR teams were scrambling. Even people close to both men were trying to calm things down. But there was too much momentum now. Every post, every subtweet, every meme kept adding fuel. TMZ caught DL outside a studio, asking if he regretted what he said. He smirked and replied, "I don't regret truth." Snoop, on the other hand, took to Instagram again, this time posting a photo of himself surrounded by platinum plaques with the caption, "Let the work speak." The silence between words said more than any argument could. Then came the deeper dive. Fans started uncovering old footage of DL and Snoop from the early 2000s. Charity events, talk shows, even backstage moments where they seemed cool. That's when people realized this wasn't random. There was history here. Some claimed the tension had been brewing for years. that DL once criticized Snoop's business deals, that Snoop once dismissed comedians as talkers, not doers. Whether true or not, it didn't matter anymore. The internet loves a backstory, and this one had layers. By now, every headline had a spin. YouTubers made think pieces, TikTok creators made mini documentaries, and Twitter spaces were packed with debates. But somewhere in the noise, the original point got lost. What started as a discussion about culture and evolution became a circus of memes, reactions, and hot takes. DL's message about staying authentic was now being twisted into clout chasing. Snoop's calm response was now painted as arrogance. Both men became characters in a story neither of them wrote, trapped inside the algorithm. After 2 weeks of chaos, both men went quiet. No posts, no interviews. Fans assumed it was over, that maybe they'd talked it out privately. But those who really paid attention noticed something deeper. DL's tone on his next few shows was softer, more reflective. Snoop's next interview, meanwhile, was surprisingly introspective. "Everybody got a voice now," he said. "But not everybody knows what to say." That line hit hard. It wasn't just about DL anymore. It was about the culture itself and how fame, opinion, and legacy collide in the digital age. Weeks later, both men were back to business. DL returned to comedy, sharper than ever, and Snoop was back to performing, smiling, unbothered. But the ripple of their feud still lingered. It wasn't about who was right or wrong anymore. It was about what it revealed. How fast we turn opinions into outrage, and how two men with decades of history could become enemies overnight because of algorithms and half-truths. In the end, the feud didn't destroy either of them. It reminded everyone watching that in today's world, even legends aren't safe from the echo chamber. And as DL said in his final comment on the matter, sometimes the loudest lies come from the quietest clicks.